Going on. So welcome to the second Q&A. And since the last Q&A last week was so successful, it got a great amount of engagement, questions, a lot of value that came from that Q&A. We're doing a second one, and hopefully, one or two every week from here on out. So if you're watching me on live right now, just type live down below so I know you're watching me as I'm speaking right now. Or if you're watching this on a recording later on, just type in replay down below so I know you saw this video afterwards and you got this information. And the way it's going to work is just ask me whatever health, fitness, nutrition, weight loss questions you have down below, maybe about my own journey. Maybe you want some questions answered about your own journey. I'll see the questions in my little chat box right here. I'll pick the best ones that will help other people as well and answer them to the best of my abilities. So just write down below any kind of questions you want to ask me about those subjects, those topics, and I'll answer the best ones that I can see from over here. What's up, Dustin? So any questions you may have, just write them down below. I'll see them. I'll pick a few to answer, and I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. How much walking did I do every day, and how many steps did I get in each day? So that's from Gabriel. And when I first started out, so I was extremely overweight before, right? I was over 360 pounds. And when I was first starting out, I got nowhere close to 10,000 or even 8,000 steps. I used to do about, not even in step counting, I used to do maybe about 15, 20 minutes of walking, right? And that was my baseline at that time. And gradually, I increased those steps, whatever they were. I increased the time to the point where maybe I was doing 25 minutes now, maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And eventually, once I lost weight, I felt better about myself. I was in better condition health wise. I started to not chase, but aim for a step target. Then I started doing 8,000 steps, 10,000 steps. And nowadays, I'm doing around 10,000 steps every day, unless it's absolutely freezing outside or slippery from the sleet, the ice, stuff like that. So, wherever you are in your own journey right now, don't try to chase the 10,000 step target. That is just a number that is generally a good idea for people that are already pretty active and have lost a decent amount of weight. But if you're first starting out, it's not about how much you do ever. It's about the consistency in you doing this. So if 10 minutes for you right now is just more than 10 minutes you were doing previously, do that every day. Because 10 minutes done over a course of a week is over an hour of walking that you previously weren't doing. And that is substantially better for you than to not do anything at all or to chase 10,000 steps, fail because it's way too much, and never do it again until you get another health kick where you try it again. So do what's doable for you, what's manageable for you, and what's able to be consistent for you. If it's 10 minutes, if it's 20 minutes, yeah, it's not as much as an hour of walking or 10,000 steps, but that's still significantly better than not doing anything. And the consistency in doing that is going to drive the most results. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see what other questions we have here. If you have any questions, write down what you want me to answer down below. What should you do as being a truck driver and very low on activity? Remember that activity is always after nutrition. So if you're not able to be as active as you want to be, I would primarily focus on your nutrition. If you're not able to be active, it's fine. Not the best thing, but it's still fine. You can still make a lot of amazing progress not being as active as you want to be. So focus on your nutrition. Put all of your focus on nutrition. See how much you should be eating. Maybe you're going to drive-throughs or maybe truck stops trying to eat the best food that's there for you. And if that's the case, tweak that a little bit. Maybe prepare ahead of time, or maybe meal prep a little bit, or make generally better choices. If you're not active because your job it doesn't allow you to be, so either try to be active when you're not working, or put all of your focus on nutrition, because nutrition is always the most important part in any kind of health and fitness journey. No matter what job you have, what your schedule is, it is always nutrition that should be focused on primarily. What's my opinion on writing down what is eaten each day? So if you want to write down first of all, writing food down is one of the best things that you can do for yourself, because it's not about being so detail oriented about what I'm eating as far as the grams, the portion sizes. If you only write down what you eat, that will allow you to be so much more self accountable, and it will show you, physically you can see in what you're eating, and will allow you to make better choices going forward. Because if you don't write food down that you eat, it's very easy to kind of forget about what you ate and kind of move on with your day, or just kind of forget about the food that you ate that maybe you shouldn't have ate before. So if you write food down, and yet you will actually be able to see this, see the food you're eating, see what choices you should make better, it will allow you to be more self-accountable, and as a result make better choices going forward without being so meticulous about all the little grams and details about counting calories and stuff like that. If you want to count calories, macros, all that stuff, it's perfectly fine. But if you take the single act of just writing food down, you will be able to see it and then realize what's happening, realize what choices you're making, and make better choices as a result from that, if that makes sense. And let me know if this mic is working. Just write down like a fire emoji down below so I know you can actually hear me. Because sometimes this mic is it's a little strange. Let's see, how many calories do I consume per day to keep my ideal weight right now? So right now I'm in a weight loss phase, but if I want to maintain my calories, I eat low 3000s. That's because I'm a bigger guy. I'm 6'4", and I have a decent amount of muscle on me. So I eat in the low 3000s. It fluctuates, so you should always have a range of calories. If your calories will never be perfectly dialed in. So having a buffer of 100, 200 calories plus or minus, having that range is what you aim for, is usually the best choice. See what are the questions that we have here. You were told you would not lose weight if you ate too much protein, but your calculator says you need to eat 160 grams per day. So if you eat more protein, well, there's calories in protein. So I think what the person told you was, if you eat too many calories, even if it's from protein, you will not lose weight. That's a fact. But to point it on protein only, it's not the right kind of way to go about it. It's, if you generally have more calories than you need to maintain your weight, you will not lose weight, and you will probably gain a bit of weight. So that's totally, no, it's right, but it's not just the protein, it's the protein, the carbs, the fats, stuff like that. So it's not only the protein. Hello from California. I have been trying to lose weight. I'm 54. I joined the gym and was going religiously, watching my calorie deficit. I have only lost 5 pounds. What am I doing wrong? That's amazing. Why would you think that you're doing something wrong if you lost 5 pounds already? That's amazing. It's not only 5 pounds of that you lost. First of all, 5 pounds is amazing, but you just said you joined the gym, which means that you're doing some kind of strength training. So you're putting on some muscle mass. So look at it as a huge win, because not only are you putting on muscle, which is extra weight, but you're also reducing your weight because you're losing the fats. It's your body's going through a recomposition phase where you're adding on some new lean muscle, you're reducing body fat, and those 5 pounds are amazing. It's not a bad thing that you lost 5 pounds. You're doing everything right. And the wrong thing that you could be doing is if you just looked at what you just wrote to me and just stop doing what you're doing. That would be the wrong move. So you just keep doing exactly what you're doing, because there's nothing that should be changed. It's amazing. Is there such a thing as drinking too much water? I mean, yeah, if you start gurgling, or just you can't breathe, you're drowning, that's probably too much water. But I mean, there's no set amount of water you have to drink. If you drink until you're not thirsty, it's fine. And the whole recommendation of 8 to 10 glasses, 8 to 12 glasses, is just a recommendation to get people to drink more water. It's not a set amount because you have to drink this much. That wouldn't make any sense. There's people that are 5 feet, there's people that are 7 feet. You can't really put a blanket statement on that. But if you follow a general target to aim for as far as glasses of liquid or water, it allows you to drink more water and be more self accountable and just make better choices. So it's not a, as far as drinking too much water, if you find yourself getting up to the bathroom all the time, That's also not a good thing. It's annoying. So there's no added benefit of drinking so much water that you're always going to the bathroom. You know, dial it down a little bit, especially before going to sleep, because you don't want to wake up and go to the bathroom because I have to drink water. It's not like that. You know, drink a moderate amount to where you're not thirsty, and you'll be fine. And thank you to everyone who's new to following me. I appreciate every one of you, and I want to do more of these Q and A's, going forward, because I feel like they help out a lot of people, and if it helps anybody out, it's a great thing. So keep asking me questions down below, and if you're getting any value from this video, just drop a fire emoji down below so I know this is actually helpful for you. Do I eat processed junk food snacks like cookies, brownies, and cake every day? If not, how do I incorporate these into my nutrition? So last night I bought like nine or 10 pints of ice cream, and I do eat that kind of food all the time. I if I didn't, and I don't know where I would be. So I definitely eat desserts like that all the time. And it's about moderation. It's not about, you will never, not never, but you will usually not get to your goal by crazy restrictions, because the more restrictions you have, and the more you tell yourself, I can't eat this food, the higher your cravings will be. And your cravings are created by deprivation, elimination, and just a mindset of, I can't eat that. Well, once that is in front of you, you will lose control. Your cravings will get the best of you. So you have to incorporate it in the right amounts so you don't get those cravings. So, what should you do? How to incorporate them? I mean, foods like that usually are typically higher in carbs, and they obviously have calories. So, if you have a food that you want to eat, let's say it's cookies, for example, or ice cream, and for me, create an allowance of calories made up of mostly carbs that will allow you that space to fit in your favorite food, because food is just it's numbers. It's how do you make the numbers work for you. And once you figure out how to create create space for those foods in your nutrition, you effectively take out cravings, and you create that mindset of, I can eat this, instead of I can't. Because the more you tell yourself I can't, the more and more your cravings will be, to the point where it just breaks, or your cravings break, and you will eat all that food in crazy amounts and you feel guilty about it. So you might as well figure out how to incorporate it by creating a space of calories and carbs to allow that food. And that's what I personally do. That's what I recommend for my clients. And it will not be sustainable if you think you're going to reach your goal by crazy eliminations. It may last for a few weeks or a month, but it will not be sustainable. I can guarantee that. Keep asking me questions down in the comments. I'll get to as many people as I can. So the best way to figure out your caloric deficit depends um, how detailed you want to be. So you can type in TDEE calculator into Google. You get a whole bunch of different numbers or calculators, websites. They're all relatively the same. They use very similar formulas. You will get a number. That number will not be accurate. It might be like 80% accurate, right? But there's going to be a margin of error, but it's good enough, right? If you want to use that number, it's totally fine. It will get you on the right track and get you to start making better choices. If you want to be super accurate, or a lot more accurate, what you can do is eat what you're currently eating, track it every single day for the next 2 to 4 weeks, and see how your weight fluctuates with the food and the calories you're eating. Because once you get a clear cut idea of your weight, how it's fluctuating based on the numbers from the food that you're eating, you'll be able to see, well, I'm eating this much and my scale is going up like this gradually, so I'm probably in a caloric surplus. Let me dial back my calories and see how my weight on the scale responds to that. Once it kind of stagnates and it doesn't move anywhere for about 2 weeks or so, maybe 4 weeks, you have found your maintenance calories. Then from that maintenance calories, you can take out a few hundred, maybe up to 500 calories, and then aim for that number. That's a more detailed way, more accurate way. It's not for everyone, but if you want the most accurate way, that's what you should do, because you're different. A calculator is just a choice for you. It's good enough. It works for a lot of people, but if you want to be super accurate, if you're all about the numbers, that's what you can do. Keep asking me questions. I'll try to get back to as many people as I can. What do I think of? I think you mean, Barbara, I think you mean intermittent fasting. So, intermittent fasting is just not eating any calories during a certain, or just having an eating window for yourself. So, for me, I've done intermittent fasting for many years on and off. It works great, but it doesn't work great for a specific reason that's magical. Intermittent fasting is not magical. For example, maybe what I used to do is I pick an eating window. For me, it was 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I only ate calories, or I only consumed calories during that time. Outside the eating window, I just didn't take in any calories. I just had water and black coffee. That was it. And this seems like it could be magical, but it's really not. The reason why intermittent fasting works is because it works for people's schedules. Some people are not big breakfast eaters, and breakfast isn't the most important meal of the day, because a lot of people don't want to eat breakfast. It's just about what works for you. If you want to eat breakfast because you feel like you want to eat something, then yeah, I mean, eat it. But it's not the most important meal of the day. And the reason why, because your metabolism never stops. It always keeps going. So the whole myth of, oh yeah, you got to eat something for breakfast to start your metabolism never doesn't have an off switch. That's not how it works. But why intermittent fasting works is because, since you have a clear cut time eating window of when you can eat, you effectively cut out a lot of calories outside. So if you're eating in this window right here, you're eliminating calories that's over here from maybe before your eating window starts, and over here after it ends. Look at it this way. If your eating window starts at, let's say, 12, well, how many calories would you have had with your coffee or tea in the morning? Maybe you had a few cookies. Maybe you had some leftover whatever from the day before with your coffee. That's a few hundred calories. Let's say in the evening after dinner, how many calories would you eat after dinner? If your dinner is at 8, you go to sleep at 11 or 10. That's 2, 3 hours of potential room to eat. So you probably would have walked by the kitchen, had a few snacks, had some ice cream, maybe had some leftovers. That's all extra calories. But if you tell yourself, I cannot eat outside this eating window, you effectively cut out all those little bits of calories, and you create a caloric deficit by eliminating the opportunity to eat. But if in the eating window you still consume more calories than you need, you will not lose weight. Point blank. It just makes it easier to create a caloric deficit by giving yourself a time restriction. That is it. Do I have any training guides available? I don't sell any kind of training guides. I do not believe in meal plans. I think meal plans are absolutely, to me, worthless, because you can't rely on somebody else's eat so and so food for your goals. You can't do that for the rest of your life. It's just not sustainable. So, what I do is I take on clients and I teach them how to train, how to eat better, and I walk them through the entire process. So, I do not sell any kind of meal plans, any kind of um, training programs, meal plans. I don't do that. So my goal is clear cut. It's sustainability and enjoyment. And that's what I walk through with my clients. My goal with every person I work with is to just show them how they can actually do this and sustain the progress for as long as they want to. Maybe the rest of their life. Maybe they want to, you know, do this by themselves and maybe help somebody else do that. That's my goal. So I don't think that meal plans are very effective. That's just not what I do. Keep asking me questions. Let me know down below. I'm not sure how long this live has been going for. I know the last one was pretty long, so I want to kind of keep this one a bit shorter. So um, keep asking me questions. I love answering people and just helping anybody that I can. Yeah, I don't have any cookbooks. People keep asking me for recipes to make a cookbook. Maybe I'll make one, some interesting recipes, but I don't have one yet. Best breakfast for anyone who wants to lose a few pounds. There's no best, right? You can eat ice cream for breakfast if you want to. If that meets your calorie requirements for the whole entire day, it's fine. There's no best anything. It's just what works better for you. So for me and my people that I coach, I tell them You have to eat protein. You should eat protein throughout with every meal because protein is very important. So if for breakfast, what you may do, what I do for myself is my breakfast is usually a combination of eggs and vegetables, which is people tell me, oh, eggs and vegetables isn't magic. I mean, it's not magical. It creates consistency. Frozen or fresh vegetables, they add a lot of flavor. You can change it up a little bit and make the meal taste completely different. And eggs are like the glue that kind of keeps my life together. So you put the glue with the vegetables, you make it into a scramble or into omelet, whatever you want to do. That's my usual breakfast. Or if I don't want to eat eggs, which is rare, I have a few Greek yogurts, maybe a and some fruit on the side. Maybe I have a low carb wrap with like either leftover protein, maybe some deli meats, stuff like that. But it always has protein in it because protein keeps you very satiated. It keeps you full for a longer period of time. And protein just takes more energy, more calories for your body to break itself down and digest it, absorb it, do those kinds of things. So by not eating protein, you kind of you're leaving a lot on the table. So you want to make sure protein is something that you have with most meals, hopefully all meals. So there's no best meal, there's no best breakfast, and it's definitely not chicken and broccoli. Keep asking me questions. And if you're getting any value from this video so far, just drop a fire emoji down below and share this with anybody else that may want to see this because I know a lot of people struggle with these kinds of struggles themselves. So tag somebody in the comments that may also want to see this video. Share this. I would really appreciate it and it helps me out tremendously. How many eggs do I have every day? Usually 4. If I'm feeling if I'm feeling some kind of way, maybe I have 5. It's not a big deal. Why am I such a hunk? I don't know how to answer that. Do I offer clientele help outside of New York? So most of my clients are from outside of New York. I only do online coaching. I don't do in person. That's something that I used to do way back. That's where I started way back in the day. I only do online. So if you want some advice, you want to see if we will be a good fit to work together, just shoot me a message. I'll get back to you, but it might take me a while because I have a lot of people messaging me. So shoot me a message. Yes, I love people actually taking my recipes and just applying them because that's why I do this. I love when people just see what I'm doing and apply it and just see results from that. I have people tell me they lost 30, 20. One person said I think 45 pounds, after watching my videos, and it makes me feel amazing because you know my personal goal when I first started losing weight is I told myself I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know if it's even a reality, but I want to show as many people as I can in the future that they can do this too. Because I struggled a lot. I made a whole ton of mistakes, which is why I'm very transparent. I tell you that it took me a lot longer than I would have liked to lose the weight because I made so many mistakes. And now I try to show people that they can do this too without making the mistakes that I did because it's frustrating. You hear so much information, so much misinformation, your focus gets diverted everywhere and you just make no progress because you feel like, you know, all this information is just like you get paralyzed by all the analysis, paralysis by analysis. That's what I experienced before, and it's frustrating. Does dairy stall weight loss? Not that I know of. That wouldn't make any sense. Calories stall your weight loss, not dairy. Yeah, TDEE calculator. Type that into Google. There's probably 100 different websites out there. It's good enough. When you're starting out, the worst thing you can try to focus on is being perfect. You will never be perfect, but good enough consistently is what you should be aiming for. Don't try to be very perfect with all the things that your nutrition, training, your calories. It's not going to be perfect, probably ever. But the beauty in this is if you are consistent in being good enough over a long period of time, you will be successful. But if you try to aim for perfection every time, for probably 99% of people out there, perfection is not sustainable. So don't aim for perfection. Is the way that I eat now the same way I used to eat to lose all the weight? Generally, yeah. I just started throwing in more food choices. When I was losing weight, they didn't really have all these low calorie ice creams. I think, unless I didn't find them before. So that I didn't have the low calorie ice creams back in the day, but now they have that. So I throw that into my nutrition. So it's all about flavor, variety, taste. I eat pretty much the same, you know, but it is different than what I used to try to eat when I first started to try to lose weight. I ate so many clean foods, the chicken breast, the broccoli, egg whites. I used to separate my egg whites from the yolks and, make sure I don't eat any carbs, make sure I don't eat fruit, and it was a mess. We eat carbs over here. Thank you so much for all the comments. I appreciate everybody that gets on these videos, asks me questions. If you have any questions, just shoot me down in the comments. These videos are for you, so I can get back to as many people as I can. Because I guarantee you, if you have a question, there's probably thousands of people out there that have the same exact question. So by asking me anything, you're effectively helping out somebody else because they will hear the same, answers to the questions. How many calories should a woman intake each day? That is a very specific question, and it should not get a very surface level answer. For Bernita, so you are an individual, you have your own life, your body, your goals, your different things. So I can't it'd be irresponsible to tell you you should eat 1,450 calories per day. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I would suggest using a TDEE calculator if you want, but you don't have to even focus on calories. If you want to, you can make generally better health choices, food choices, and start seeing progress without counting calories. So I cannot tell you how many you should be eating because I don't know you. I don't know what goals you're after, and I don't know anything about you. So um, I don't know. That's something you got to figure out yourself if you want to, because you don't have to count calories. Favorite on the go snack? Um, Something quick like a protein bar or fruit. Fruit is, I mean, apples. They're very basic, but they taste pretty good. Most of them do. So I throw in a few apples into my bag, maybe a protein bar, maybe both of them. That's my go-to. Keep it very simple because the worst thing that can happen is if you're on the run, you have nothing on you, and you see a drive-through, and you're hungry, and you feel like you know, I gotta eat something. If that drive-through or that restaurant or that takeout place is right there and you're hungry, you will make choices that aren't the best for you. But if you have something in your pocket or in your bag, in your car, that's better for you, like apples or protein bars, maybe whatever it is, maybe dry protein powder you want to put some water into real quick and just gulp down, that's still better for you. Let's take a few more questions and we'll cut this video once I get a few more people. Do I have a list of my services attached with a link? I do not. That's a conversation that we have personally, and if we feel like that we're a good fit to work together, I'll show you exactly what the program entails, what's involved into it, because everybody's different, honestly. New follower here. You need to lose about 200 pounds. You can't seem to get going and out of my old habits. The first thing that starts with that is understanding that you will lose the weight and be successful. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And getting out of that mindset first is the first thing you should take. So it's not, will I ever get there? No, it's when will I get there? That's the first step. The second one is, do not get focused on the calories, do not get focused on the macros. Completely delete that idea out of your head and just start making better choices right now. Try doing things like eating protein with every meal. Try to eat generally more fruits and vegetables. Try to get away from eating greasier and oily foods. Try to cook or eat more food that's made in the house instead of food that is bought outside or gotten from takeout. Try to eat more or drink more liquids, not just water, tea, coffee, stuff like that. Maybe have taken most of your carbs from fruits and vegetables instead of from snacks, stuff like that, desserts. Also, try to limit your liquid calories. Liquid calories will by far just completely might completely stall your progress. Liquid calories like juices, when you put a whole bunch of sugar into it, sodas, full sugar sodas, those healthy drinks that is like the naked ones. Yeah, it might be healthy from like a few nutritional things, but like micronutrients, but as far as the calories, it's way up in calories. And the reason why you want to cut down on liquid calories, also like sauces and dressings, is because that doesn't really fill you up. You got to get the most bang for your buck as far as calories, which is why would you drink the calories, which won't fill you up, but it will still use the calories. Whereas you can actually eat the calories, chew it, have it digest over a longer period of time, fill you up, and not be hungry. So you got to make better choices. Don't worry about how many calories should I be eating. Just make generally better choices for yourself, and you will start seeing progress. Hopefully that helps. What do I think of the Bang energy drinks? Is it good for you and a good drink to have on a diet? Uh, Energy drinks are they're nothing special. They're mostly caffeine based. So if you like coffee, a lot of them are 0 calories too. So if you like caffeine, if you want an energy boost, drink them. It's not bad by any means. The only thing I will look out for is some drinks like Bang or maybe Red Bulls. They have a whole bunch of sugar in them. Not that sugar is bad, but sugar has calories and it's not going to fill you up. So I would suggest to have 0 calorie energy drinks if you're going to have anything. So it's not a bad thing by any means. Let's do one more question. Is there any way to help tighten the skin after weight loss naturally? So I'm going to be fully honest and tell you exactly what might help. There's no magical exercise to tighten up your skin. There's no magical roller. There's no creams. There's no anything that seems like it may work because it seems like amazing. Here's what's actually going to work to tighten up your skin. Number one is to reduce your body fat percentage as much as you can in a healthy amount. So just reduce fat generally. What you're going to find is when you reduce fat, you might have a bit of saggy skin, maybe some loose skin. The degree varies. So once you reduce your body fat percentage, it should be a goal to put on as much muscle as you can, because once your skin shrinks and your skin has a certain level of elasticity, and once it stretches past a certain point, it can't bounce back. It's not that elastic. It's not a rubber band. It goes back up to a degree, and that's it. So once your skin, drop your body fat percentage, your body drops down. Now it should be a goal to put on as much muscle as you can, so you can fill in the space to kind of expand the skin a little bit, and that will tighten it up. So I'm not going to tell you there's any detox or cleanse you should do. There's no creams. I wish there was, and if there is, you can definitely let me know. But I've seen them all, and they're all a waste of money, and they're just marketing gimmicks. So lose body fat percentage, put on as much muscle as you can, and yes, women included. And also, the third thing is just give it time. It's going to take time because your skin will bounce back to a degree. Nobody can tell you exactly how much, because some people have a lot of loose skin, some people don't. So give it time, reduce your body fat percentage, and just put on as much muscle as you can so you can fill your frame out and effectively reduce the saggy skin a little bit. Hopefully that helps. And if you got any value from this video, drop a fire emoji down below and let me know if you want to see more of these Q&As going forward. I think Wednesday might be a good time to do them. Maybe I'll do one on the weekend. I don't know yet, but just let me know down below if you want to see it and when are you actually interested in seeing this video, because I don't want to do these videos when nobody else is online. So let me know down below. And I genuinely appreciate everybody for being here and asking me all these questions, because if one person has a question, I can guarantee that at least 100, maybe 1,000, thousands of people will have the same question. So by asking me your thoughts, you're helping everybody else, and it just spreads like this. So I appreciate everybody for being here, and if there's enough demand for this, I'll see you next week on Wednesday or on this weekend. I'll see you next time.